Welcome to the month of March. Here at TV3, we're celebrating Ghana Month, and all across media general platforms we'll be celebrating Made in Ghana, Know Ghana, Wear Ghana, Eat Ghana, and See Ghana. And on Captured by Women this month, we'll be celebrating Ghanaian entrepreneurs, businesses, and of course, personalities. You don't want to miss this episode. Please stay with us. We'll take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll go into the spin.
Welcome back. Well, today here on The Spin, we're discussing the fact that some people don't care about other people's privacy. Of course, it's because of the social media frenzy. Everybody seems to want to post something out there. Maybe you are breaching a friend's privacy by posting that thing that gets you all the likes and all the fans. But we're going to be talking about that here on the show. Ladies, this social media thing, honestly, is getting to me. I think we've exceeded its limits. Some people are just breaching privacy for the sake of posting anything. Yeah. Recently, we had a video that leaked when the late Ebony, may her soul rest in peace, and her friends who, you know, went through that fatal accident were seen in the hospital. And I didn't get to watch the video, but all I know is it's gory. You don't want to even see it. Yeah. But why would you even think of doing something like that?
I think it's getting too much. I think that people just lose themselves in trying to share what information they want to share, and they lose all sense of sensitivity. So it's a serious issue, you know, that has been ongoing, but I think it's gotten to, you know, a head, and it must be addressed. It's really, really serious.
It is. And for me, it's quite worrying, because I tend to feel that you think that it's younger people who do things like this out of maybe ignorance, and they don't know what our culture is, because we are generally a very protective culture of people who've passed. We don't say bad things about dead people in Ghana. And we're also very protective of ourselves. And unfortunately, it seems that we've thrown that part of our culture out of the wind. It's for me, it's quite unfortunate. It's also a sense of how we've adapted so quickly to technology and the downsides of it. So even though it is a good thing that we have so much penetration of social media and mobile phones and apps and all of that,
good stuff.
Exactly. You know, we could actually be using these tools to enable our lives and our work and make things easier to operate. But it's worrying that we're using it also on the negative side, even though it has so many positives. I mean, social media is an opportunity to connect to people across the world. It's so exciting to be able to meet people you haven't met in so many years, be able to connect to them and meet people that you want to meet but can't physically meet them. So I think we should be talking especially about how can we ensure that we're not leaving out our culture, we're not forgetting who we are, because you think about the fact that many years ago, and even it's still available now, when you talk about a young lady, in the Akan parlance, we say Aketesia. And the idea is that she's properly covered up. And now you see pictures of young people and you're wondering that, okay, where did that just come from? You know, so it's how much we've just allowed a lot of things to overtake us. But I feel that our generation has a responsibility to try and backtrack a bit. So, for instance, what can we do? If we have friends who are sharing, if we have friends who are sharing content that we feel is not the right content, we should be able to speak up and tell them.
That's it.
There are times where you get friends sending you very suggestive text message or videos. You should be able to speak up and say to them, you know what, please stop sharing this. Don't share with me and don't share with anyone else. You know,
just delete it
because keep it on your phone. And there are actually laws against things like this.
Yes, like, so I was coming to that. Don't you think at some point we, you know, borrowed the culture of social media? Oh, of course, it was a trend, so we had to, you know, involve ourselves. But don't you think we took it without taking the laws and the precautions that come with it? Because, like you said, it's meant for good. They're the good side. How come the negatives seem to outweigh the good? Is it that we're also not taking the criminal aspects, where if you share these things, the police should be able to actually arrest you for it because it's a criminal offense? But maybe everyone does it because I know I won't be caught.
It says, I know the Data Protection Act 2012 is quite explicit on issues of privacy. I know that, or I heard sometime last year that the Commission was doing a lot of awareness raising, educating people, because most people don't know that it's actually criminal to share people's videos, you know, and private moments on social media and with friends without their consent. So when you see the act, it's very clear on issues of privacy, and it's clear about how people should process personal data, and the fact that it is illegal to share something without people's consent. So I think that this is also a great opportunity for our viewers to learn that there's actually an act in place that, you know, gives information on how to go about managing data, managing people's information, and people must know, because you can't be prosecuted, you know, if you infringe on somebody's privacy.
You see, it comes back to the point. The act is there. They know. They may or may not know. But supposing we've made them aware, do you think that alone makes them afraid of the implications of actually doing it? Because at the end, there are some I know who know, but still do it.
It goes back to the conversation of what is the consequence. And I just keep talking about that because it seems we're lost on the fact that for every action we take or every decision we make, there are consequences to them. There's some countries that when you visit that country and various jurisdictions, if they find content like that on your phone, you're in serious trouble.
Definitely.
I mean, just by storing it, by having possession of it, you can be in serious trouble. And so we need to educate our people. Our people must know that these things are wrong. I mean, we're exposing our children, we're exposing the next generation to so many very harmful content. We're teaching them the wrong things, you know. So we need to become conscious. It used to be a secret thing to have pornography. I mean, it used to be so hidden, but now
we're having taking a nude picture.
But now, it's like a common trend.
Yes, but and how we're seeing the issues of videos leaking, and it's young people, old people with young people, all of that drama. It's. I mean, we really have to talk about it, but we have to begin to act. Because there are laws, like you said, there are issues of privacy involved, but we need to speak up. And the laws have to take.
They have to. But I'm happy Ebony's family and the management has sued, you know, the mortuary and I think even the hospital. I'm happy that is in place. At least someone knows the law works.
But why would you want to record something like that?
It's
you know,
so
but in the
bizarre.
video, from what I hear, the person video, I mean, the mortuary man is heard telling the person videoing, I hope you're not going to put this on social media. I don't know what language he spoke in or whatever. But which means he per se may not have had the intention to expose. Of course, what he's done is outright stupid. It shouldn't have happened. But for me, that makes him even realize that there is that opportunity, that thing could happen. So why would you, in your wildest dreams, even think of doing something like that? And again, even as subtle as people using your DP, your own picture, as their profile picture, or sharing it on Facebook.
Like, go and just copy and share it. Like you go for an event. I mean, I've watched, and I'm sure we've all seen the videos where of people having a good time at a wedding or an engagement, and they're maybe dancing, and by the time they, I mean, without their knowledge,
it's everywhere.
It's posted on social
so now
media,
when you go for a party, you're being very conscious. You don't want to dance too much.
They become objects of public, you know, ridicule.
So
it's totally outrageous, and I think people are generally unaware of the damage that they do to people, the damage they do to people's reputations, the emotional trauma people see. Goes through when they see themselves on social media, when they least knew about it.
You know, I was thinking about the discussion, and one of the things I was thinking of was, what was the world like before smartphones, and what were weddings like? I mean, we used to go to weddings and sit and observe and be part of it, but now everybody has a phone out. Now everyone has a phone out and everybody's taking pictures. And unfortunately, some of the phones can't really take pictures very well. But still, they're all blocking your view from seeing the couple, and you're just lost on the beauty of the ceremony. And so now there are people who actually prevent their guests from taking pictures because they want to protect the images that they have, and then only the official photographer takes pictures. But is that necessary? Why can't people just regulate themselves?
Exactly.
It's so intrusive. It's very intrusive. I once went for a wedding. You know, on social media, I'm very private. I hardly share my pictures on social media. So this is me at a wedding, and apparently somebody had taken a shot, and I was in the background, and I'd posted, and people, were giving me inbox messages. And I was like, so if I wasn't in a position that was presentable, what kind of damage would that have done to me?
But the truth is,
so
now, with social media, you're always public.
Now there's an accident. What's the first thing we do? We bring out our phone and
take a shot,
I mean, kudos. Sometimes it helps us in reviewing an incident.
But it's
I don't
like
think that's
people's
the
first instinct.
response.
Yes.
Let's help.
Let's
think about ourselves. If it was you out there, what would you want people to do?
You know,
I think the first thing I think about is that.
It's like you quickly want to be the
it's a
first
reflex.
to
It becomes a
share.
reflex, yeah.
You know, I learn about it, to actually, promote that
them,
attitude. Because if I see that you posted something, I'm going to like. And I'll be like, oh, so maybe we should stop that.
I saw a very funny cartoon about the Israelites going through the Red Sea, and they said, okay, if it was present day Israel or present day wherever, I'm sure the water would have overtaken them, because everybody would be like,
But guys, on that note, so you heard us talking about social media and intrusion of people's privacy. People, I think it's getting out of hand. There are laws. Also, remember that what you wouldn't want to be done to you, don't do to another person out there. We are all Ghanaians. We are in a month of Ghana celebrating ourselves, but let's do it in decorum. Remember to ask someone for the permission to even share a picture or something out there. Anyway, guys, we'll take a break at this point. We'll be back with more here on Captured by Women.
Welcome back from the break. On Big Back today, we're going to talk about the alarming rise in armed robbery cases in the capital and also in other parts of the country. And to discuss this subject with us, we have Mr. Adam Bona, who is a security analyst, as well as the CEO of Security Warehouse. Mr. Bona, you're welcome to Captured by Women.
Thank you very much.
So, I mean, this recent spate of armed robberies is pretty frightening, isn't it? What are your initial thoughts about it?
Yes, it is. It is very grim, frightening. Just like I always put it out there, crime doesn't know color. Crime doesn't know when a bullet is fired. It doesn't. Wherever it catch, if it's the wall, it will go through the wall. So if you are there, you'll be caught. And so the fact that you have not been hit at home, or you haven't been hit whilst you are in your car, or whilst you are in the office, doesn't mean that if you refuse to talk, TV3 would not be ransacked. Do you understand? And so I think that the discourse, like you are doing, all of us, we are about 27 to 30 million Ghanaians. If all of us are going to be vigilant, we are going to make the armed bandits or the criminals unemployed. But if you decide not to be vigilant, you are driving and you just want to care about your business, there could be crime happening in front of you, and because you refused to learn about how crimes break, you get into the thick of it and a bullet will go through you. And so I would say it's pretty worrying, but it's not a hopeless situation.
But what do you think has occasioned the sudden hike over the last couple of months?
If you ask me, I would say it has to do with the proliferation of, what do you call it, mobile money, what do you call it, forest bureaus and this mobile money boxes.
Yeah, the vendors.
Yes. In the past, crimes were restricted to certain communities.
Okay.
But now, money is everywhere because people are just sending money. And so now you would see one crime breaking in Accra, and a similar thing is breaking in Dodowa or Agomeda or somewhere in Accra.
Mr. Bona, let me hinge on what you just said, because you said it's the mobile money and the
the
fact that the money is one of it. But I thought that these mobile money, Forex Bureau things pretty much were in existence way, before. Even before Christmas, where you think there's a lot of transaction, and so the height of, the Forex armed robberies should be higher. We didn't see that, but it's rather now in January, February. So is that really one of the major issues?
If you realize before Christmas, we had, maybe you've forgotten, the situation wasn't that good.
Okay.
Then right into December, we had this operation, Calm Life or something.
Right.
And police, this time we didn't have the other ranks. We had senior officers deployed amongst the other ranks. And so what it meant was that confidence in the police service itself increased. Because they were everywhere. But I think somewhere along the line, we had some withdrawal of, this thing. And so, and if you know how this criminal, the mind of the criminal, once a crime is committed and the perpetrators are not arrested, other people, they want to be also buy a guy. And then they do it. And so that is what is fueling. And so if you, in other places, this is called what you call it make look, because then you look at it and people then begin to believe that, oh, I have a gun, I can rob.
To, do that.
I can do it, and I can do it with ease. And they do it, and they get away. But I'm saying that this is an organized crime. And when you are dealing with organized crime, the mentality is not brute force, intelligence. If you are dealing with organized crime and you are not using intelligence, it will be difficult. You are going to have people falling. When I say people falling, people dying if you are using brute force to confront organized crime, because they will sketch where they are going to rob. But if you have the requisite intelligence, you'll catch the guy when he's naked in bed.
So is that where we have a challenge?
We have a challenge there, yes. That's where we have it. I have said it several. Intelligence gathering has been zero. But today, Thursday, we've had a reshuffle, shake-up, and we now have a department manned by COP Ohunu. I know COP Ohunu, someone who is smart. And so he's in charge of intelligence. And we are going to push the police, all of us, to get the police resourcing to him so that before these guys come out, they are arrested. And also use technology. Because how do you detect a motor rider? How do you detect the guy is hiding a pistol in his motorbike? You can only use K9, when I say sniffer dogs and probably scanners. And so these are things we are pushing them to put in place so that you see this spate of armed robbery would come down. I have said it repeatedly that, if you go to Britain, police officers in Britain don't use guns. No. They have the armed squad unit. And when there is a gunshot, the armed squad unit, they are called in. And when they come in, it is a different ballgame. But you don't hear how many people are killed in Britain, even though the police officers, those who patrol the streets in, downtown London, other places, they are not holding guns. But you don't get people, worst case scenario, you see the young people hitting people with, baseball bats and stabbing people, but not guns.
But you talk about well-equipped or well-equipping the police system, and also the fact that there has been a shake-up and some people who seem to have the potential to do more work. But is that all that it will take? Because I know that in the past, I'm sure that people who have been placed in certain positions had the competence, but they haven't been able to execute the work, because then you're looking at only one person being able to gather intelligence. But what about those on the ground who will also be able to come in and clamp down on the activity, say like happened in Tema? This man was on the road. How many policemen to one human being in Ghana? For me to say that, okay, there's an activity at point A, and so I need all the policemen to rally to that area.
Well, you see, policing or security and safety is a shared responsibility. The US, which is one of the largest economies in the world, China, which is also doing well, Britain and the other places, you don't have one police officer following. It's not possible. And so if I decide to be a police officer, you decide to be a police officer, she decides, then we are going to be 30 million police officers in addition to the police officers. But if we go to sleep and I walk into a bank, I want to buy a car, $20,000, and I call the car dealer. Oh, I'm buying a car. How much? $20,000. Okay, Medisikani bus is here. We like show in Africa.
Oh, yes.
You have to let the beautiful girl know you are buying a car for $20,000. So the guy who is sitting there
has heard you.
He's looking so dirty. He doesn't look like somebody who is going to rob you. He calls his colleagues and say, hey, this guy said this, so I'm going to follow him Let's come. Okay, so you stay here, you stay here, you stay here, you stay here. This is organized crime. And so if you are vigilant and I'm vigilant, I will walk the guy into the banking hall. Give me your bank account. Right. How much is it? $20,000. I say, oh, Madam Teller, 20,000, pay into Kwesi Mensah's account. Right. I am gone. When the money is cleared, I come for my car. Right. No, me, I've had 40 cedis in my pocket for the last 2 weeks. But the truth is that I have my ATM or my bank card with me. If I have to take money, you'd go there. I go to even I don't go to the standalone ATMs. Right. Because you go to a standalone ATM, you could be robbed. But so I would pretend I'm walking into a bank hall and take small money and walk out. Do you understand me? Right. And so if we are all vigilant, this issue that happened in Tema, you wouldn't blame it on anybody. It was just lack of probably alertness. Why would you go for 200,000 Ghana cedis? Why would you do that? The Bank of Ghana... We need to be more security conscious. In all this discourse, the Bank of Ghana, we haven't mentioned them. But I'm told as I started mentioning them, some initiative, the vice is pushing them to do certain things. You will not walk into maybe Halifax or you walk into NatWest in London and say, I want £10,000 and you don't have to show a proof. What do you want it for? Exactly. They won't give it to you. And so they sat there. He came in 200,000. Ghana must go. I'm sure. They packed the money into the bag. He walked out of the bank. Somebody should have said, pay us 5,000 cedis. We will carry this money in a bullion van with a police escort to your place. But why are you even taking 200,000? That could lead to money laundering. And money laundering is not Ghana law. It's international. You are breaking an international law, apart from our own laws. And so someone should have said, you are going to pay salaries. Why are you paying table? Right. That wasn't done. And so what I'm trying to say is that if we are alert, if I'm constructing maybe I'm building a house, I go to it because I know most of the people we recruit, unfortunately, to build our houses are criminals. I mean, it's one thing people don't know. I mean, I do this work and so I know. The guy will come back after 3 years when he's finished building, carrying mortar to build your house to rob you. It's one thing people don't know.
People are not conscious. So what should we be mindful of? Because when you mentioned the building of the house, I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
I just fell into that.
That would be very scary. So what are the things?
You go, you have to pay them. Don't pay them cash. If the guy doesn't have mobile money account or doesn't have a bank account, he says, Master, I can't pay you. Once they believe that as for you, you are cashless. You don't carry money. But if they know you've gone to the bank, you've come 10,000 cedis, you pay everybody, you are showing off, you pay you, I won't pay you. They know this woman likes to carry money. But for me, it doesn't matter who you are. I don't pay you cash. So when you come to my house, you know it's useless. And if you take my TV, you know, so you understand me. But when they come in, it's not the TV and the laptops they want. They want money. Because they have to go and sell this thing so cheap that if he can get some 5,000 from you,
he's in good business.
It's in good business. Right. So what I'm saying is that if you are building a house, stop paying the laborers and the masons cash. Let all of them register with some bank or mobile money something. If load the money onto you and sit down and keep sending. That way they know you are conscious of yourself.
Mr. Bernard, let me come to... I'm sorry about that. Let me ask this question. So we've talked at length about how we need to be security conscious and all that. And for our viewers watching, please share with us other tips, security tips that we ourselves, because as you said, it's a shared responsibility. We all have a stake and we all have a part to play. So what other tips can you share with all of us and with our viewers on being more security conscious?
Mr. Bona, let me just hinge on your previous statement, so you answer Rosamond's question later. But concerning the fact that the armed robbers, don't you think proliferation of small arms plays a big role in this? Because you talk about being cashless, but you know when an armed robber comes on you and you don't have the money, you can be rest assured he's going to maim you. So what do you do?
I'm telling you something. The United States of America, this young guy who killed the student, he's 17-year-old boy. He had access, he bought 3 submachine guns and flattened all these people. Why didn't he go to homes to rob? Because if you go to a home in the US, they don't have money. But once people know when I come to your house, you have the money, they will beat you into submission because they know you have the money.
Okay, so you're saying it's not about the proliferation of small arms, but it's rather...
It is part of it. We have fueled this proliferation of small arms because the guy knows most of these guns they use, they hide them. It's an organized thing. They hide them. Okay. He goes to hire a gun maybe from one of these slums for 100 Ghana cedis. He goes to some mobile money unit and robs them and gets 500 cedis. He comes and he pays the owner of the gun. He now has 500. How much is one of these locally manufactured guns? Maybe 400 Ghana cedis. The guy now owns a gun. But if he went to that mobile money joint or mobile money point and he didn't get money, I mean, he's just like, you go and give he will say now business is not good.
But he'll kill you.
No, what I'm saying is that they would only do that when they know you are lying.
Okay.
It is, you see, when they know you are lying, they will beat you into submission, believing that the more they exert pressure on you, you will talk.
Okay. So you also mentioned that you've used the term quite a bit, organized crime. It means that you're saying that there's the planning, there's the execution, it's premeditated. It's not out of the blue kind of thing. What should citizens then do to maybe to be alert or to see signs of something, you know, because it's not a coincidence. Just be
conscious of yourself.
Okay.
I went to an ATM. My office is at East Legon. I drove to one of the, I don't want to mention the bank's name. I drove to the ATM in the night. They have security. The security man was sitting in his kiosk. And so I got down. And usually one thing I don't do is, it doesn't matter where I am. When I get down, my laptop is so precious, so I pick it. So I picked my laptop. And when I got down, I locked the car and went to the ATM. But before I could take the turn into the bank's yard, I had scanned the place from afar before I got there. Right. And I saw a young guy behind a tree. We didn't have that eye contact. I seen him early. So when I got there, I took off my eye. He didn't know I'd seen him. So I curved into the place and stood at the ATM. So put my ATM card, pulled it back. Then I said, okay, I've got to turn and see whether this guy is still there. And when I turned, lo and behold, the guy wasn't there. So I stopped what I was doing and I went around my car and he was squatting by my car.
So had you not been vigilant?
That's what I'm saying. He was squatting by my car and he was trying to use an implement to open the car. And I told him, I've seen you. I'm more smarter than you.
Mr. Abonaba, let me ask you this question. We know that we've had a series of police transformation programs. The very recent one was on Thursday. But funny enough, we still have increased crime and we still have these reported cases. So what are we not getting right? What is the problem?
It's going to take time. You know, democracy is one of the most expensive, you know, things one would want to. It's so expensive because of the rule of law. You know, this will not happen under a military regime.
No.
It won't happen. I lived through the 70s. I saw the 79 coup. I saw all of them. You won't dare. You won't dare. Even when you haven't done anything, the guys are putting bullets through you.
But you say it won't. It needs time. So but the thing is, the public confidence is waning, and people are increasingly fearful.
No.
So how much time do we have?
In this situation, if you are fearful, I'm fearful, she's fearful, we have lost it. If you remember September 11th, I keep referring to September 11th in most of my discussions that is what changed the security of the world.
Yes.
Indeed.
That is what changed the security, how we have to live as people. It was a bold decision America has to take, and that decision affected the rest of the world. September 11th, I was traveling with a group before September. After September 11th, I got to Kotoka, and I was told, now international aviation so and so if you are traveling with a group, you have to wait, we have to send your details. And I was thinking, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so from that day, those days you could go into an aircraft, we didn't have local air, you could go in with water, with all.
Yeah.
All those things
changed.
And so what I'm trying to say is that, fortunately, for the first time, I would say, without any doubt, that we have had a lot of money go to the police, about 800 million, which is so significant. But let's not just take it and say it is going to be there. We have to keep asking how much of the 800 million has been spent. I'm aware 3 helicopters are being procured, vehicles, motorbikes, and whatever. And so what is now remaining is for us to ask for more. You know, crime pays. Do you know crime pays?
No.
Okay. If crime pays because, you see, I lived in Britain. And as a young man those days, now I'm old, so maybe...
Are you?
I am old. I could go through the speeding camera. By the time I come home, I would have gone through about 8. And each of them, I think I had to pay about £80.
So why would you do that?
No, you see...
He didn't know at the beginning.
No, I didn't know. No, I know. But we had calculated, as young people, we had calculated at a certain speed, you will be able to beat the intelligence of the camera. So you go before it will snap you. But most often you will try it, and at least some of them, they'll bring you tickets. If you did it on Friday, Monday morning, they drop the thing in your... You have to go and pay. If you don't pay, they won't come arresting you. They'll take you to court. And when they take you to court, the judge would say, there's a warrant for this person arrest. Don't worry. You will be there, even if it's a year or 2 years. You'll be driving some small thing. They will stop you. Then they say you are under arrest. They take you. At that point, they tell you the judge needs you, not them. They lock you up. They take you there. You lose your license. And so you see, you would not commit crime. But over here, I believe all of you drive. If you follow a trotro driver, you are following the trotro, and then he stops.
Oh yes, in the middle of it.
And you are fuming, and he tells you,
go you.
Fly off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mr. Bona, let me interrupt you now, because we need to wrap up the segment.
Yes.
So, if you could just comment on the what we should expect following the police reshuffle and the transformation program, and also wrap up with sharing with us a few tips, that we as citizens should learn to be more security conscious.
I thank you very much, and then thank you to those who are viewing us at home. If I would say that this shake-up should reassure all of us.
Okay.
At this point, all of us should not push the panic button. Let's be so confident and go out there. If you have a business to do, just be vigilant. Go out there and do the business. Okay. You are going to be defeated if you allow these people to keep you at home. And then at home, if you have children, let them know when someone comes to press and say, "Oh, mommy," or then you say, "Oh, mommy, babe." Okay. Who is your mother? All right. These are some of the things we should know. Okay. But we don't teach the children some of these things, so they grow up not knowing anything. And always remember to lock your door. All right.
Thank you very much for coming on the show today. Viewers, we've had the opportunity to host Mr. Bona, who has shared his thoughts with us on the police reshuffle and a few issues on security. We would wrap up now and come back with the Career Woman segment. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. At Media General, we're celebrating Ghana Month in March. And today, we're going to be celebrating one of our illustrious daughters, Madame Theodosia Oko. She was the one who designed the Ghana flag. And aside of being the one who gave us our wonderful, inspirational flag, she did quite a few other things. And so today, we're going to be talking about her.
Yes. She deserves to be mentioned.
She does, and we're very excited. I mean, we're surrounded by so many powerful women on our sets, and today the spotlight is on Madame Theodosia Oko. One of the things I found very interesting was the fact that aside designing the flag, she did other things.
Yes, she did.
So she wasn't just an artist, a well-celebrated artist. She was also someone who did a lot of sports, a teacher, a family woman, all of that. And so when we think about her and we think about her within the context of Ghana, she's such a pivotal person.
Figure and an inspiration.
And for me, it's also the thing of when we think about women, and how women contributed to the struggle for independence, and it culminates in a woman designing the flag. It's just a very exciting thing. I don't know about you.
But it is. I mean, when I read that she was also a full-time teacher, you know, also an artist and also a sports enthusiast, I was really, really impressed. I didn't know, I mean, I knew she was a sports enthusiast, specifically hockey, and I was really inspired, and I think that she still inspires a lot of people, even in blessed memory. So for me, I mean, the takeaway for me is that yes, you can be many things.
Yes.
You can be a teacher, you can be an artist, you can be a sports enthusiast, you can be a doctor, like Amma, you can be a broadcaster, she's a broadcaster, you know. So we should explore our full potential, you know, and hone our skills and perfect them. You know, you can be all that you really want to be if you put your mind to it. So she's really a great inspiration for us.
She embodies the complete, balanced image of a woman.
Certainly she does. And I'm sure she died empty. That's what we all should do as we live. But we have excerpts on here. Let's see what Theodosia Salome Oko did for us.
Mrs. Theodosia Oko was born Theodosia Salome Asihine on June 14, 1922 at Enum in the Asujaman district in the Eastern region. She was the fourth of 8 children born to Reverend Asihine of the Presbyterian Church. Growing up in a typical religious and royal family, she decided to leave an indelible mark in the hearts and minds of people right from her childhood. She had her elementary education at Asante Achemago in the Ashanti region. She later proceeded to the Agogo Presbyterian Training College to train as a teacher and taught all her lifetime. She later received 3-year training in fine art at the Achimota School and qualified as an artist. She married Mr. Enoch Kwabena Oko, the head of civil service in the Nkrumah regime, and became known as Theodosia Salome Oko. She's a renowned artist, having exhibited her art pieces in various parts of the world. Mrs. Theodosia Oko is the best known in the art world for her design of the Ghana national flag at independence in 1957, a design which spawned off the flags of several African countries as they also became independent of colonial rule thereafter.
A flag is the soul of every country. Sure. You can't stand without a flag. Otherwise, people will not notice that this is this country or the other. That's why they needed a flag.
In the sports world, she is best known for her role as chairperson of the Ghana Hockey Association in its hectic formation years, during which time the national hockey pitch, now a modern field hockey stadium, was acquired and built up. She has been a patron of the Sports Writers Association of Ghana, SWAG. She comes from a Presbyterian household background. Her father, Reverend E.V. Asihine, was the first black moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. She has also been a teacher, a horticulturist, and a housewife with 3 children and several grandchildren. Due to her hard work and dedication to national development, Mrs. Oko was awarded the Grand Medal by the nation. She also received a number of awards from some institutions in the country. More than 6 decades after she designed the Ghana flag, Theodosia Oko's name continued to be revered whenever it is mentioned. She permanently etched her name in Ghana's history books for her great contribution to the identity of the nation Ghana. Whenever the flag of Ghana is hoisted at state and international functions, she is credited as the brain behind it. Mrs. Theodosia Oko's life is indeed a life well lived, which is worth celebrating. She has paid her dues in promoting patriotism and nationalism, even for eternity. And even in death, her works still speak. Mrs. Theodosia Salome Oko, Ghana celebrates you, and Captured by Women in our Ghana month says Ayiko. Well done. Ghana Maumbo Yetawasi.
Hello, my name is Kaptured By from Fatofe, Ghana, and today I'm going to take you through high-intensity interval training. Am I not fortunate? I've been captured by, by the woman, this beautiful woman. I'm so excited. It's very short. Your heart is going to beat faster. You're going to burn more calories than usual. But before we go into that, let's do a few stretches. It's always important to start your exercise with stretching. It releases, your blood, circulation. It improves the muscles, and it prevents injury. So always start some stretches before you start your exercise. So for that, let's open up our hands, and then just let it swing. Yeah, swing. Then take it backwards. All right. Now try standing on your toe, and then your hands are up, then up and down, up, down, up, down, up, down. All right, open your legs. Now go this way to your right. Yeah, and then stretch your back leg. Yes.
Okay.
Just hold it for a few seconds. Now bend the back leg and then go up like that. Yeah. It's good for the hamstring.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right, up. The same thing for the other side.
Okay.
All right.
Let me do the other side.
So hold it for a few seconds. Then let's come up for a few seconds. All right, come up. And then try touching the floor for the back. We are stretching every part of the body. Try. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now come up. Now try stretch the waist. Take it all the way. And then anti-clockwise.
Oh, viewers don't get ideas.
All right, this is good for flexibility so that you know where you can use the waist. So now let's just match and then bring our heart rate down. So the first HIIT training is called burpees. I love this one. So first you jump up, you come back, you come down, your leg comes back, press up, and then you jump up. We'll do only 5, ladies.
5 of this?
Yes, I've been captured by you, so let's go. So first we jump up. Okay. All right, let's jump. Then you come down, leg back, press up, come up. Now jump up again. Hi.
Wait, hold on.
4 more.
Wow.
Let's go.
Okay.
So let's jump. Then leg back, press up, come up, then jump up.
Hey, Akoto.
2 more. 2 more.
Akoto, they get
too
it.
fast.
Viewers,
It's too
don't
fast.
you get this?
Because we don't have time. We have busy professionals.
Okay, let's go.
So jump up,
Okay.
come down, leg back, press up, come up, then you jump up. All right, we are done with burpees. The next one is called high knees. So high knees. So just like that.
Okay.
Right?
Akoto,
High knees.
Take us through. Is it left to right, right to left, or is it just a
Oh, the German will say egal.
It doesn't
But
matter.
for
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so right, left, yeah. All right.
Okay.
So just do that for a minute. Every exercise should last you a minute. We are doing 10 exercises. All right. So high knees, just like that. Try and bring your knee high. Try and bring your knee high. All right. The next exercise we are going to do is...
Can we breathe a bit?
Yeah.
It's power jacks.
Okay.
All right, power jacks. So for that, just watch me. You wait.
Are they going to do this in the morning on an empty stomach?
Yeah, it's exercise is very good. Just drink water and start.
Okay.
So for that, like that, like that. All right.
Like a wave kind of.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
this is called
that
power
feels
jacks.
good.
All right, this feels good, right?
Yes.
So let's get go for only 10. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now we are going to do
More.
jump squat. Jump squat. So you see your heart is beating faster, right?
Very.
If you go for a walk for 30 minutes, your heart may not beat this fast, so you're burning more calories. So your hands like this, you jump, then you squat for only 5 because of time. All right, so let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, squat well. 5, 6,
Go squat well.
7,
boss.
3 more, 8, 9, 10. All right. The next one, the next one we're going to do is called switch kicks.
Okay.
I know, Petra, you are tired, but it's good for you. Switch kicks. So your hands like that, in a fist. For those who want to do it moderate, you just kick. Kick.
That's all.
At least this will bring the heart rate down. Okay. But for those who have power, just go like that.
Power.
Let's go like that. Petra, let's go. You have power. Let's go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So that's also good for a minute. And then you do mommy kicks.
What? Mommy?
Mommy kicks.
Okay.
And what are those?
We're going to kick, not our moms. So those are like that. See, it's not so difficult. All right. So we'll
how
do
many of those 10?
20 because it's not so difficult. All right. So let's go. One,
you understand? We are just
2,
demo.
3. Sorry.
What's my World Cup?
Demonstration.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll do 10.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. The next one I'm going to do is called jumping ropes. Hands by your side. Hands by your side. Then let's just jump rope. Let's just jump. Yeah, you can skip. If you have a skipping rope, go for it. And just let it go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The next, last exercise is for the legs. Lunges. All right. So you go this way, then you come down. Then you come down. Right for 10. So let's go to the right first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 10. All right. So I hope that you enjoyed the workout. Try and do this for only 10 minutes. And you get a lot of benefits out of it, all right? Exercises are very, very good for you. And for more of this, you can join us on the Fat to Fit Challenge. Go to 3news.com or fattofitghana.com to register and join us for a 60 days journey that will transform your life, where we'll teach you how to eat well, and then you can lose weight in the process. So after this workout, we need to replenish energy.
Definitely.
So we have some smoothies here that is
Wow.
going to help you to replenish your energy.
Okay.
So this for Petra.
That's mine.
This yours.
Does it have
Thank you.
chocolate in it?
Yes, it has bitter cocoa powder.
But his looks browner than mine. I'm like the jealous child.
Yeah, this one doesn't have cocoa powder. I just bought it differently. You know, this one has
But you did well
coconut.
because I love chocolate. So
Yes,
I
I knew you.
Yeah, thank you.
So that one has to come to you. All right, so let me know what you think of the smoothie.
Really good.
Yeah.
It tastes good. So
Tastes
what's
great.
in this?
This one is banana, oats, coconut milk, the fresh coconut, the water, and then the bitter cocoa powder. That's very, very good because it's not sweet.
I spent some nuts.
Yes,
Bit of nuts in this.
small almonds.
Okay.
Almonds are very, very good.
Yeah.
It has avocado as well, and it has also some coconut water, and then banana, and then oats.
Okay.
It's very filling. I take this in the mornings for my breakfast.
And that's it. You
and
don't have to eat anything else.
Yeah, you know, it can fill you up after lunch, and then you have a healthy lunch, and then dinners are usually soups.
Okay.
So a healthy lifestyle is very, very important. Eat clean. You know, your body is a temple. I always say that.
is.
Take care of it. It's only one, and you live longer. All right. So I hope that I'll be captured by you another time.
Okay.
I've enjoyed
We'll
my
look
time
forward
here.
to it, especially looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Ladies, we want to say thank you to Kaptured Girls,
Yeah.
of course, for giving us the smoothies and taking us through that warm-up exercise. I hope you learned a thing or two. But of course, this is Captured by Women, and it has come to you right here from TV3. It's a beautiful Saturday. Go out there and stay blessed. We'll see you same time next week. It's goodbye from us.
Bye.